And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios.
That was Larry Fink, the CEO of the world's most powerful company, BlackRock, and he's saying there needs to be room for Bitcoin in your portfolio. And they're saying that because BlackRock just released this giant report, many pages long. I read this report so you don't have to, and I got 3 giant takeaways, including a price prediction from BlackRock on where Bitcoin is going to go. But the first thing we're going to be looking at here is from Dr. Jan Woostenfeld. This was one of the key takeaways from this recent report from BlackRock on Bitcoin. One aspect that stood out to me is the table comparing the performance of Bitcoin, the S&P 500, aka the stock market, and gold following major political events. Well, I found the actual page. And they have a little bit of an intro to this section that is pretty important here. And they say that the asset, aka Bitcoin, is largely detached from certain critical risk factors, including banking system, sovereign debt and currency debasement, geopolitical disruption, and other economic risks. So Bitcoin is in a unique position as far as risk assets go when there is something risky happening within the world. Now, they threw out different examples spanning multiple years, and you can see they have the stock market, gold, and Bitcoin, and they look at the 10-day return and the 60-day return. On even the 10-day return, you can see Bitcoin largely on average outperforming the stock market and outperforming gold. But when you look at the 60-day return, Bitcoin smokes the competition. It's not even close. Absolutely crushes the stock market and gold prices here. 20% versus minus 7% in a 6% pump. All the way for the 2020 US election challenges, Bitcoin rallied 131% over the next 60 days. So you can see it didn't matter what the event was, Bitcoin outperformed the stock market and outperformed gold on a 60-day return. Now, BlackRock does have an explanation in the immediate aftermath. Sometimes you see Bitcoin head to the downside. Well, they say that the fact that it is an asset that trades 24/7 and settles to cash near instantaneously makes it a highly sellable asset during periods of stress liquidity. So if something major happens at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, you can't exactly sell your stock, you can't exactly sell gold, but you can sell Bitcoin. And so they say in the short term, Bitcoin may have extra volatility, but you can see on the 60-day, Bitcoin in the long run is the better move. The number 2 takeaway before the price prediction here, number 3, is from Eric Balchunas. You can see he's the senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. Following his stuff for a while, and the BlackRock is commenting on the US debt, saying there is no end in sight, and Bitcoin can offer protection from this. And when we scan to that part, you can see they title it US Debt Dynamics Re-Enter the Focus. And the yellow line you're seeing right here is the accumulative amount of debt that the US has experienced. And if you didn't know, you can actually track the debt on a per second basis. This is our US national debt right now, and we are $35 trillion in debt. In fact, just the interest on our debt is $1 billion every 8 hours. That's just the interest. That's not actually what the debt increases by. It increases even faster. So they have a breakdown on this debt spiral that we're essentially in right now, and you can see projected debt is not slowing down. BlackRock, the world's most powerful company, and some would say the best connected company in the world, is saying debt is not slowing down ever. And in fact, if you go all the way to 2030, it looks like it's going to be pretty close to about $44 trillion in debt. Now, because of this debt spiral, is saying reserve assets as a potential hedge against possible events are going to be very appealing here. So again, very bullish for Bitcoin. But what was that BlackRock price prediction that you said, and what is their conclusion when it comes to Bitcoin? Well, they don't quite give you a price prediction per se because they have to be very careful. In fact, they don't give you any kind of predictions on what kind of market cap it's going to have or what one coin is going to cost. All they do is measure bull market peaks here and talk about the cumulative return of 800,000x. Now, you can see the first cycle, we had a almost 600x. Then that went to about a 550x. The 500x then turned into a 100x for Bitcoin, and then the 100x turned into a 21x for Bitcoin. But now with US debt spiraling, we have more and more nations increasing their debt as well, BlackRock signaling interest, and just more global uncertainty. I can't help but think, we're not going to be that far away from a 20x. Potentially, around 10x would be my prediction. And if you're wondering what this low number was, it was right around 15,500. So you're looking at around $155,000 Bitcoin. And if you're wondering what their conclusion is, it is very bullish for Bitcoin here. Now, they say it is going to show some co-movements with equities and other risk assets over the long term, but its fundamental drivers are starkly different. And they say, you know, what are some examples here? You know, as the community grapples with rising geopolitical tensions, concerns over the state of U.S. debt and deficits, increased political instability around the world, Bitcoin may be seen as an increasingly unique diversifier against some of these risk factors investors may face elsewhere in their portfolio. So you see Larry Fink turning very bullish, BlackRock turning very bullish, and in a way kind of bearish on the dollar. So BlackRock is signaling a lot of interest in Bitcoin. I'm interested in Bitcoin for these reasons as well. Follow the smart money, follow BlackRock, folks. You will not regret it, folks. That's all I have for you. Hopefully I'll see you and your BlackRock diamond-handed Bitcoin bags at the top.